Welcome to the Get Your Goal podcast, the place where ambitious, deep-thinking women chart their own course, exploring the mindset, emotions, and daily practices that help you get your goal your way by being unapologetically you. I'm your host, Paula B., Master Certified Life and Goal Coach and creator of the Daily 3 Journaling Framework. On this podcast, you'll learn to navigate your unique path to success by using the most powerful tool in your kit, your own internal compass. Ready for the adventure? Let's go. Hello, friend, and Happy New Year. My friend, we are talking today about how to stop wasting time. And before I even finish that sentence, I really want to let you know that this is not one of those like time hacking or productivity podcasts where I'm going to talk to you about how to get more done. We're actually coming at this the way that I come at pretty much everything, is taking a look at what you are currently doing and helping you to stop judging yourself for how you are spending your time. Because here's the thing. Here's what I know about you, because it's what I know about me. You and I both have big goals. And right now, actually, here, let's address that also, because it is the beginning of the year. And I really don't want to play into that whole new year, new you vibe. I really, really want to offer you some gentle solutions. That's always what I want to do, is offer you a way of thinking about yourself and about your goal that helps you not feel that deep urgency of I have to get it now, I have to get it no matter what, I have to use my willpower, and I have to, all of the have tos that start building up and especially are just so loud this time of year. You and I both know that now is not a great time to spend a lot of time on social media, where everybody wants to tell you this is the year and here's how, and if you don't get into action right now, you're gonna blow it, and most people don't get their goals, and just all that blah, 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 blah nonsense that we are inundated with right now. In fact, I actually really debated whether or not I wanted to put out a podcast here at the first of the year that's called How to Stop Wasting Time, except for the fact that I know that this affects you. It affects both of us. This is something that I have been pondering and trying to, solve about myself for most of my life. I know that you and I both struggle with wasting time. So I wanted to talk with you about it today, no matter what time of year it is. Especially hello from the future. If you are listening to this sometime in the summer or the fall or whatever, if you find the podcast later in 2026 and you're like, what is she even talking about? Well, here's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the problem of having a big goal, or goals, plural. Having the type of goal of something that you have been working towards forever. You have spent your life wanting to write a book, or you have been meaning to really push your business forward, either start it or finally have that success that you've been dreaming of, or you've been holding yourself back from really running the kind of race or the distance that you want to run because you're a little bit, there are lots of reasons why. Some of it is fear. Some of it is holding yourself back. Some of it is exactly what we're talking about today, this idea of wasting time. You have these big goals. You know more or less what it takes to get the goal. You know the things you mean to be doing. And in fact, very frequently, you put those tasks on your to-do list. And yet somehow you still find yourself wasting time with either filling your day with menial tasks, or even important tasks. You find yourself spending the entire day doing things, and yet somehow none of them actually moved you forward. You were busy, you get to the end of the day and you're like, oh my gosh, I got this done, I got that done, I got the other thing done. And also there were these other things on my list, either a mental or physical list, that I wanted to do towards my personal goal. And those were the things that got shoved down to the bottom of the list. And so then you get to the end of the day and you're like, okay, you know what? Tomorrow, I'm going to start over. I'm going to make it happen tomorrow. I mean, this is the thing that first one there where I spent my day being busy, that was less my problem. I mean, I'm a girl who can spend a lot of hours on my phone, because that's the next thing that we're going to talk about, how this might be showing up for you, where you've got great intentions. Honestly, you literally start your day thinking, okay, today's going to be the day. I'm going to get those words written, or I'm going to get that social media post out, or I'm going to record a podcast, or I'm going to do the thing that moves me towards my goal. Like, today is the day where I am absolutely going to track every single thing I eat. Today is the day where I'm actually going to exercise. Today is the day I'm going to do the core work. Today is the day. Today is the day. And then there are a few more free lives on your matching game, or suddenly you accidentally scrolled on Instagram for hours of watching funny reels, which, I mean, geez, ask me how many hours I spend on Instagram, sometimes unintentionally. Ask me about the way that I spend my time sometimes. That is what we are talking about today. We are talking about spending your day in ways that aren't getting you closer to your big goal, even though your big goal is really important to you. And I really want to address that fact, because I think lots of us get in this thing where we wonder if maybe our big goal isn't important enough to us, where we look at what we're actually doing and we tell ourselves something like, man, I must just not want it enough. I'm watching myself make all of these decisions that aren't moving me towards my goal. So maybe it's just time to give it up. Maybe I'm not going to be an author. Maybe I'm not going to be successful. Maybe I'm not going to run that race that I want to run. Maybe I'm not going to have the relationships that I want to have. Maybe I'm not going to weigh what I want to weigh. And this, my friend, is not true. You can have what you want because you are the one creating it. And I hear the argument against that no, a successful business requires other people. Publishing a novel requires other people. Losing weight requires other people. That one is definitely not true, but I know that we all think that. Like, if we live in any sort of a family unit or have any kind of like social life, we do feel like those choices are occasionally up to other people. Like, that is a conversation for another day. The truth of it is that you personally are the one creating what you want, and you personally can actually spend your time doing the things you desire in a way that makes sense for your life. Here's what you are probably doing. Here is what I did for years the other day. Oh my gosh. I was looking for camera equipment because I have a plethora of cameras, and I'm working this month, definitely this year, probably this month. I have no real timeline on this because I have so many skills that I would like to learn in order to create what I want to create. I am going to be adding a video element to the podcast. I've done this numerous times. I mean, way back in the day when the podcast first started, it was video only. I mean, it was an exercise video where we were talking about things. Then I went to audio only, and then very briefly, I don't remember how many episodes I did, I recorded again with video, and then I went back to audio only. There's a reason why I keep going back to audio only. And frankly, it's because the amount of skill that I need in order to record audio only is less than if I am trying to record some kind of video. I do want to have a video element, though. I like being on video. I like being able to show you my face. I like being able to have that connection. And it's really weird because I know that here, let's talk about business for a quick second. Literally everybody in business marketing tells you video is so important. People need to see your face in order to get that know, like, and trust. But I will tell you that in addition to you as the audience liking to see the people that you are buying from, I, as the coach, as the marketer, as the business owner, I weirdly like looking into the camera lens and imagining you personally. And yes, I do that while I'm speaking just into the microphone, but there is something about speaking into a camera that feels like a connection on my part also. So I've been thinking about this. I've been like buying lighting and thinking about my background and how I want the videos to look. And like I said, there's definitely some skill involved because I have a desire to create a very specific kind of video for you. So sooner or later. Anyways, I was looking for camera equipment. This is the point of the story. I was looking for camera equipment and I was going through all of my old stuff. I have cloth bins, those like square cloth bins that you can use to display like on a bookshelf. I actually have them hidden behind doors because they're old and they're not very good looking. So I have them full of, oh my goodness, I have so many planners. I know that there was a time when I would have described myself as a person who was like addicted to planners or addicted to calendars. That's not a thing, but I have so many of them. I have bins and bins and bins. I've been in business for myself since 2012. January 1st of 2012 was the day that I got my business license. I didn't get an LLC just yet, but I got my business license and I applied for an LLC like that, I don't know, that week, I think. I couldn't tell you the exact timing on that one. I know I got my business license on January 1st of 2012 because I absolutely love that it was the first of the year and it's very easy to remember. It's very easy to celebrate being in business, very easy to like categorize it like that. Like I do love the first of the year, even though I don't love the urgency vibe of you got to go, go, go. There is still something about this time of the year that feels very, very fun to me, very invigorating to me. Anyways, so that 2012, this is now 2026, she says with a giant question mark. So 14 years of being in business for myself. And I am the kind of person who likes to hang on to things. So I have every single notebook, every single calendar, every single planner, every single journal, every single, oh my gosh, what are they called? Those yellow legal pads. I used to write a lot of notes on legal pads. I used to do everything by hand, like all of my record keeping, all of my notes, all of my calendaring, all of my everything. There's a reason why I talk to you about there's a reason why I talk to you about journaling. It's because it's important, but there's a reason why I talk to you about like hand journaling, like actually using your hand and a pen and a piece of paper. There is a like brain body connection that is different with a pen and paper than it is digitally. I do a lot of my journaling digitally now, but for years and years and years, every single thing I did was all by hand with pen and paper. And I have them all. The amount of paper that I have used, and you know what? I'm even going to say it, wasted. I have so many calendars that have like 3 entries in January. Then nothing else for the rest of the year. I have so many planners that have like 1 list and then nothing else. I really, really 100% thought, well, first of all, that it was me, that there was something wrong with me. And I also thought for a very long time that there must be a perfect planner out there, that there must be something that works with my brain, because this was a more recent thing. In fact, even last year, I spent quite a bit of money on a couple of digital planners trying to find some kind of visual representation that actually works with my brain, because I've come to understand that lots of things don't work for me. And so I keep thinking if there's some kind of system or plan or framework or thing that would just finally work with the way that I think and the way that I see things, that then I could be as productive as I want to be. Turns out none of that was true. Turns out that buying all of those planners, oh my gosh, and the amount of time that I have spent taking courses for productivity, I do not have a number. And even if I did, I might not share it with you because I have taken many, many courses on productivity and how to block your time. In fact, that was one of the reasons back in the day that I even joined the self-coaching scholars, which has changed names and now doesn't exist anymore. It was Brooke Castillo, the life coach school. I joined her membership because she had a system for how to plan your time and how to block your time and how to absolutely make yourself as productive as you could humanly be. And she talked all the time about how she ran this multi-million-dollar business on just 3 days a week. I mean, that was the dream. That was the dream. Turns out none of that. None of that worked for me. And here's why. Here's why it might not be working for you. The truth of it is, maybe you do have a planner that works. Maybe you do have a to-do list app. Maybe you do actually have a productivity, let's call it a hack or a tip or a system or a something that like mostly works for you. But the truth of it is, you probably would not be listening to this podcast 15 minutes in if it was working perfectly. And I want to tell you why. Like why it doesn't work for you. First of all, is because most of those things require you to use some kind of like self-discipline or willpower in order to keep using them. Like if it does not actually work with you and you are trying to make yourself do something that isn't coming naturally to you and frankly is not very pleasurable to you, that's why those planners and systems and calendars and notebooks and etc. aren't working. It's not you. And it's also not the planner or the system or the calendar or the whatever. The truth of it is you have mindset blocks. And I say that with so much love. Like, oh my gosh, I say that with so much love. And hopefully you hear that as a huge relief. Like there's not something fundamentally wrong with you, and there's not something fundamentally wrong with the planners or calendars that you've been buying. There is something that you can discover about yourself. Like, doesn't that feel amazing? I find this to be hands down the nicest thing I have ever learned in the world. Because for a long time, literal years, as evidenced by the graveyard of calendars and planners, I spent years judging myself. Like I kept a record of those things, but I also kept it as kind of a weapon against myself. Like, look at what you can't do. Look at what a loser you are. Look at how productive you aren't. And really coming to understand that it's simply something that I can learn about myself. There are thoughts that I have in my head that are creating feelings that are uncomfortable, which, by the way, that's the description, that's the definition of a mindset block. You have a thought that creates an uncomfortable feeling. And that is why you aren't doing what you want to do. There's also a couple of other factors. Here's what I've come to understand. There are actual mindset blocks about the tasks, for sure. Like when I'm asking myself to do something or demanding of myself that I do something, there's a lot of like self-doubt in there about me and who I am and whether or not I really want to do the task and whether or not that task feels like a lot, which is something I used to hear a lot in my head, or if the task feels hard, or I have other things that I need to do, the task feels unimportant. Like there were definitely mindset blocks that I had about the tasks, but there are also two other factors that might be, I'm going to say, causing you to waste time. Hear this for what it is. This is an exploration of you and what you're thinking and how you're feeling and how you can ask yourself to create what you want in a way that feels most like you, that feels loving, that feels gentle, that feels like the right amount of challenge, that feels like you are A, doing something that you enjoy, and B, creating something that you desire, and C, have the ability to do all of that. Here's what else might be going on. You might not have truly decided what you want to be doing with your time. I want to offer you a different definition of the word decided than maybe you have ever thought about it before. Lots of us believe that deciding is something that you do in your brain. And you, my ambitious, overthinking friend, you use your brain more than enough. You might be trying to decide something with only your brain rather than asking your body's opinion. Your brain and your body work together. Because here's how the whole world works. You have a thought, that thought creates a feeling, and that feeling is what drives your actions. If you notice that you are trying to think your way into doing something, but you are not doing the thing, the piece of the puzzle that's missing is the feeling. You are not feeling what you, I'm going to say, need to feel in order to produce the action you want to produce. And there's a way to tap into that feeling first when you are making the decision that tells you whether or not you're actually going to do that thing. This is something that I talk about extensively in the Daily 3 Masterclass. Let me offer you that the Daily 3 journaling framework really is the answer to this question of how to stop wasting time. Using the 3 very specific goal-getting types of journaling are the answer to asking yourself to use your time to produce the tasks that you want to be doing in order to get the goal that you desire for yourself. Making a decision with both your brain and your body is what I talk about, again, in the masterclass, which there's a link for you here in the show notes or the description or the caption or the whatever. There's a link for you anywhere you're watching or listening to this, or you can simply go to my website, getyourgoal.com, and it's the very first button right at the top. And also, here, let me offer you an invitation. This is going to come out really clunky because it's the first time I've said it, and I am going to be doing something new and different this year. I made myself a promise. It's the first of the year. I make myself promises. I have asked myself to host workshops, yes, plural, this year. And I am going to be hosting one on Monday, January. Do I know the date? I believe it's the 19th of this year, 2026. And I'm reluctant to mention something that is so time sensitive on a podcast that you could listen to literal years later. The reason that I am mentioning the workshop is because it is workshops, plural. I have promised myself that I'm going to be putting on several live workshops this year because I love to be live and I love to teach and I love to be able to see you, connect with you, and answer your questions. This is, frankly, something I'm doing for myself, but also something that I'm doing for you. I know for me personally, I love to learn things. I love to listen to podcasts. I love to purchase courses, as we just previously discussed. But I find it so incredibly valuable to have that interaction with the expert who is teaching the thing, because inevitably, there will be something about what they are teaching that I understand, but haven't quite made work for me yet, that I love to get their feedback on. I love to get their nuance, their answer to a question that I have personally. And I love to offer that for you. I know how I teach the Daily 3. It's in the masterclass. Please go watch it. It's completely free. And I also know that if you are going to use the Daily 3 for your good, that you have questions, that there are nuances that you're hearing one way in the masterclass, but when you get the opportunity to ask me the question in a live workshop, that I will say it just ever so slightly differently, and it will make so much more sense to you. It's why I want to be putting on these workshops this year for you, so that you can use the daily 3 and actually get your goal. Like, that's my goal for you, is that you can stop wasting time. And that's not a judgment, but to use your time in a way that makes so much sense for you, to use your journaling time in a way that truly moves you forward. Like, literally, this only needs to take about 5 minutes a day to imagine your future self, to untangle the stories that you are telling yourself about the thing that you want, and to also step into the capacity of being the person who has your goal. These are the ways that you are unintentionally wasting time right now. You did not decide on what you wanted to do with your brain and your body. That's future self-journaling right there. You have a mindset block about the things that you think you should be doing but kind of don't want to do. And you can untangle those. You can simply hear the stories that you're telling yourself and feel the feelings that those stories are creating so that you can release them and move forward with ease instead of willpower. And then finally, this last thing about stepping into the person who actually has your goal, being the person who does what you want to do. This identity work truly is the thing that is different about the way I talk about goals than, I'm going to say, anybody else. There is probably somebody else in the world who talks about this kind of identity work. What I have found in the world of mindset for myself, with the coaches that I have followed and the programs that I have purchased and the rooms that I have been in, is that a lot of people who are talking about mindset are really focusing on helping you get a very specific goal as fast as possible, which means that they are teaching you how to get into action, how to do the things, and they are implying that it is the action that finishes changing your mindset, that actually creates the identity of. And while this can be true, your brain, upon watching yourself do the same thing over and over again, will, or rather can, eventually take on the identity of a person who. Here's what I mean. For example, if you go for a walk every single day for an amount of time, eventually you could think of yourself as a person who walks, as a walker, as a person who loves to go walking, as a person who makes time for walking every day. Or you also might not. This is something I have seen over and over in myself and in the women that I work with. Your brain will not automatically take on the identity of a person who is doing what you are doing repeatedly. Your brain, left to its own devices, could easily continue to tell you that you are not productive, that you are wasting time, that you are not successful, that you are not losing weight, that you are not making headway towards getting your novel published, that you are not the kind of person who has good relationships. Your brain could, as easily as not, continue telling you old stories and keep you in an old identity, no matter what you're doing. That is why I teach what I teach. Stepping into the actual identity is more than just thinking that you have to do something and then making yourself do it. You feel your way into a new identity. You feel your way into productivity. You feel your way into your future, and you step into it with your thoughts and your feelings and your actions. Focusing on any one of those things, or as some people do, any two of those things, isn't quite the whole puzzle. This really is the differentiator of what I teach, which I call journaling, by the way. I call the Daily 3 a journaling framework, and I really want you to know that it's not just using your brain, and it's not just writing down your thoughts. It is a thinking and feeling framework so that you can do what you want to do, my friend. I know you want to do stuff. I know you want to stop wasting time. And here's how. Use the daily 3. Spend 5 minutes or an amount of time. I call it a 5-minute journaling framework because you can do the entire thing in 5 minutes. And also, if you enjoy it, you can spend the amount of time that feels pleasurable and works for you. Using the daily 3, spending a minute approximately imagining your future self, really feeling the feelings of a person who has your goal, seeing yourself, imagining yourself with the thing you desire, and then asking yourself from those feelings what you want to do today in service of that goal, uses your brain and your body to make decisions, to make your to-do list. Next, you'll spend approximately 3 minutes untangling an old story. Once you have that mental or physical to-do list of here's what I want to do today in service of that goal, you will have access to, well, especially if you ask yourself a question, something like, what do I think about doing this particular task? What do I think about sitting my butt in the chair and getting 500 words out of my brain today? What do I think about going for a run today? What do I think about tracking my calories today? What do I think about repairing my relationships today? What do I think about this thing that you have asked yourself to do? Your brain will offer you a reason why not. And that reason, I'm putting air quotes around that reason is simply a mindset block. It is a thought that you have in your head that is creating an uncomfortable feeling that you can simply feel through instead of responding to. That is the mechanism by which you untangle your mindset blocks. You hear the story that you're telling yourself. You feel the story that you're telling yourself. And when you don't behave from that thought and that feeling combination, as you have been doing for presumably years, your brain and body will naturally offer you another thought about that task. You will release your mindset block and create a mindset superhighway. And then, my friend, success journaling. This is the part where you actually step into the identity of a person who does what you want to be doing to create your goal. You actually spend that minute, yes, feeling like a person who is doing what you mean to do. Imagine that for a moment, if you will. Because I can even feel that while I'm talking about it here. This is work I am still doing myself. I do the daily 3 every single day. Feeling like a person who is actually creating what I want still feels slightly uncomfortable to me. And that really is the work that we do here. We feel those uncomfortable feelings to get them up and out of our system so that we can do what we want to do. Now, here's the thing. Here's what'll happen when you start using the daily 3. One of two things. And I mention this because I love to offer you this whole, about a year ago, I started using the daily 3. I've used it every day to create exactly what I want. I've been productive in ways that feel so much like me, that feel incredibly sustainable, that have produced podcasts that are helpful for you, that have produced new workshops inside of my Get Your Goal membership, and now this year workshops for my entire audience to enjoy. The daily 3 has helped me be productive in a way that feels good and sustainable and is creating what I want in my business. What will happen for you first, though, is probably not something that amazing and life-changing immediately. And I love to offer you this because I am the kind of person who does not sugarcoat that there's work to be done here, and that work isn't always going to feel amazing. It will be the building of a skill. My friend, if you have been shoving down your feelings your whole life, as I have, it will take some time to actually practice feeling them. What will very likely happen is that you will kind of treat the daily 3 like a new calendar or a new planner or a new productivity hack. You will very likely try very hard to promise yourself everything, the whole world, a list as long as your arm. And you will be like, oh my gosh, Paula promises me that the daily 3 will help me get more productive and stop wasting my time. So I'm going to keep doing things the way I've been doing them. And that, my friend, is not quite how this thing works. Making wild promises to yourself and then not following through is not the point of the daily 3. The daily 3 helps you create self-trust by only promising yourself what you can actually imagine yourself doing right now in a way that at first, this is the other thing that could happen, is that you will start judging yourself for how little you're actually getting done. Because when it comes down to it, you can kind of only promise yourself like one thing a day. This was me when I first started using the daily 3. I weaned myself. No, I did not even wean myself. I cut myself off cold turkey from making a to-do list that had like 50 items on it every day. And I really spent the time. My future self journaling took more than a minute when I first started using it, because I really spent the time asking myself, am I actually going to do that today? Can I see when that's going to happen? Can I picture myself getting that done today? And the truth of it was that I couldn't. And therefore, I only promised myself like 1 or 2, or on a really good day, maybe 3 things. And then I did them. And that was, that in itself, oh my God, that was mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. I had never actually ever in my life until last year created a to-do list that I finished everything on. That was amazing. And also the to-do list was only 1 or maybe 2 or maybe 3 items long. And so there was that little bit of judgment of like, dude, seriously, this is all I can do. like, is this it? Am I really that pathetic that I can only ask myself to do one thing and then do it? And that was something to work through. And it's why I offer it to you gently and lovingly that yes, you will trade in one kind of judgment for another. But this kind of judgment really can be worked through when you start to see that what you ask yourself to do, you really can do. And you will. It means that when you ask yourself to do 2 things, you'll do 2 things. When you ask yourself to do 3 things, you'll do 3 things. My list now is a little bit longer, and I still spend that time asking myself, is this really what I'm going to do today? All 3 of these types of journaling work together. It's why I offer them as a grouping of 3. Over the years, I have done future self journaling almost exclusively. I have done metacognitive journaling. That's the thing where you untangle your stories almost exclusively. I struggled my entire life to ever do success journaling. This really is the newer version of journaling for me. And it is still the one that I struggle with. This is the one that I take to my coach. It's the one that I would love to move past in my own journaling. And I'm asking myself, it's one of the things I ask myself, make sure that you actually success journal. I offer these as a grouping because the 3 of them work together to rewire your brain for success. Any one of them helps you. Don't get me wrong. I mean, gosh, any kind of journaling helps you. Don't ever hear me saying, oh, no matter what you're doing, it has to be this. Not true. All journaling helps you. And these 3 types of journaling that I offer you in the daily 3 really, really help you by working together to help you make decisions/promises for what you want to do, to help you get really clear on where you're going and how you're getting there, to gently and lovingly untangle the crap that you've been telling yourself, and then to step into, confidently, the person who has your goal. This, my friend, is how you stop wasting time on things you don't mean to be doing, on unintentional tasks and playing and wasting time that isn't moving you forward. And it helps you use your time in the way that you desire. It helps you use your time intentionally. And I really want to hone in on this one particular thing. When I'm talking about how to stop wasting your time, I'm actually not telling you to stop playing on your phone. I'm not telling you to not do those other like menial tasks that can fill your day. What I'm telling you is that when you decide intentionally with your brain and your body how you want to be using your time, what things you want to be doing to move you forward, and you also untangle the crap that's been stopping you from doing that intentional thing, and then take a moment to see yourself as the kind of person who actually does what you say you'll do, even if it's playing on your phone, even if it's the menial task. I intentionally spend time playing on my phone each and every day because I find it relaxing. That is not wasting my time. That is using my time in the way I've asked myself to use it. That, my friend, is the dream, the goal, the thing that I want for you. A complete lack of judgment about how you're quote unquote wasting time, and the kind of productivity that you desire that comes from self-trust and self-reliance and the capacity to be the person you want to be. My friend, I really hope this was helpful for you today. Go watch the Daily 3 Masterclass. That will get you onto my email list. When I have all of the details finalized for the workshop that's coming up, I'm going to be sending out an email to those of you on my list. That is the way to get the invitation to the live workshops, by the way. As of right now, I don't have anything publicly facing. That might change in the future. I'm still making those decisions with my brain and my body about what I truly want to do. Right now, the way to get the invitation to the workshops, the live workshops, is to be on my email list. The way to get on my email list is to watch the Daily 3 free masterclass, or at least sign up for it. I actually have no tracking on there. I have no idea if you watch the whole thing and take notes or if you just sign up for it and never see it. Either way, you'll be on my email list. You'll get the invitation. My friend, I really hope this was helpful for you today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you again soon. No matter where you are on your goal-getting journey, I'm here to help. Get started by watching the free Daily 3 Masterclass to learn the simple journaling framework that rewires your brain for success. Move forward with confidence at your pace with one of my goal-specific guided journaling experiences. And when you're ready for immersive exploration with fellow travelers just like you belong in the Get Your Goal membership. Find it all and join the adventure at getyourgoal.com.